When we think of ancient warfare, we often imagine legions of disciplined soldiers clashing in open fields, banners flying and bronze gleaming in the sun. But sometimes, an empire doesn't fall because of its weakness. It falls because of the strength, unity, and cunning of its enemies. And nowhere is that clearer than at the Battle of Marathon in 490 BCE, where the mighty Persian Empire was stunned by a far smaller Greek force. Let's uncover how one of history's greatest powers was brought low, and what it teaches us about underestimating your opponent. Setting the stage, East versus West. By the early 5th century BCE, the Persian Empire was a juggernaut, stretching from modern-day Iran to Egypt, and even parts of India. Under King Darius I, the empire was expanding rapidly, swallowing smaller nations into its administrative and military machine. But the Greeks? They weren't impressed. When the city-states of Athens and Eretria supported a rebellion in Ionia, a Greek region under Persian control, Darius took it personally. He vowed revenge, not just for the rebellion, but for the insult. His goal? To punish Athens and bring Greece into the Persian fold. In 490 BCE, Darius launched a massive expedition. His fleet crossed the Aegean, conquered the city of Eretria, and landed his troops at the plain of Marathon, just 26 miles from Athens. Why Marathon? The Persians didn't choose Marathon randomly. It was flat, perfect for cavalry maneuvers, a Persian specialty. They expected the Athenians to be terrified, to surrender or stay behind their city walls. Instead, the Athenians marched out to face them, joined by a small force from the city of Plataea. Outnumbered roughly 2-1, the Greeks did something unexpected. They prepared to fight in open terrain. This would be the Persians' first mistake. They underestimated the resolve and tactical discipline of the Greek hoplites. The Greek advantage. Hoplites and terrain. Greek warriors weren't just brave, they were organized. Each soldier, or hoplite, carried a round bronze shield, a long spear, and wore heavy armor. They fought in tight, overlapping formations known as phalanxes, where each man protected the one beside him. The Persians, by contrast, relied on lightly armored infantry, archers, and cavalry, effective across open terrain but vulnerable to direct melee assault. The Greeks also used the terrain to their advantage. The battlefield at Marathon was flanked by marshes and hills. The Persians couldn't use their cavalry freely, and that was key. Without cavalry to break enemy formations or exploit gaps, the Persian infantry would have to face the phalanx head-on. The surprise assault. After days of standoff, the Greek general Miltiades gave the order to attack. But what made the Greek assault shocking was how they began it. Instead of marching slowly toward Persian archers, the Greeks ran, full speed, in formation, across a distance of nearly a mile. Why? Because they knew that Persian arrows lost momentum at range. A running hoplite could cross the danger zone quickly and get into close combat, where Persian troops were weakest. The Persians likely expected a hesitant Greek advance, but instead, they faced a charging wall of bronze and fury. Persian collapse. The Greek flanks were reinforced and stronger than the center. When they crashed into the Persian lines, the center held for a while, but then the Greek flanks folded inward like a trap. The Persians were encircled, in tight formation, without heavy armor and lacking cavalry support. The Persians were pushed back. Thousands were killed. Others fled toward the beach, many drowning in the nearby marshes or being cut down at the ships. In less than a day, the invasion collapsed. The Greeks had lost fewer than 200 men. The Persians lost over 6,000. If you're still watching this video, hit that subscribe button and join us as we uncover more lost strategies from the ancient world. Now back to the story. Why did the Persians really lose? Let's break it down. 1. Overconfidence. The Persian Empire was used to crushing smaller foes. They assumed Athens would crumble without a fight. 2. Poor terrain choice. Marathon's terrain neutralized Persian cavalry, a key element of their battle strategy. 3. Inferior infantry tactics. Persian infantry, lightly armored and spread out, couldn't stand toe-to-toe with the dense, disciplined Greek phalanx. 4. failure to adapt. The Greeks changed the rules of engagement. The Persians didn't, and paid the price. 5. Motivation. The Athenians were defending their homes, their families, their way of life. The Persians were on a campaign of conquest. In war, morale is often worth more than numbers. Legacy of Marathon. The Battle of Marathon became legendary in the Western world, not just as a military victory, but as a symbol of freedom over tyranny. It was proof that tactics, terrain, and determination could defeat a numerically superior force. It inspired the modern marathon race, named after the 26-mile run from Marathon to Athens by the soldier Phaedippides, who delivered the news of victory and died of exhaustion. But most importantly, Marathon set the stage for the next generation of conflicts between East and West, including the epic battles of Thermopylae, Salamis, and Plataea. Thanks for watching.